And welcome to Player Pass. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Everyone on the panel, how's everybody?
Good.
Yeah, I got some major wood going. It's not even morning.
Ba-dum-bump. All right. So nice to see everybody here today. It's Player Pass. So this is the Friday we're going to do Player Pass, and we are going to be covering the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So if you've not watched this show before, we will cover the movie. We'll talk about it, give our opinions. You are more than welcome to share your opinions. You can either do it on the side chat, or we'll here in a little bit, we will post the link to the show. You're more than welcome to come on the show and give your opinions live right on here for everyone to hear it. You don't have to have a camera. You can just have your microphone. So you can do that via telephone, all kinds of different ways. So let's get going on Guardians of the Galaxy. So we don't have any other news to get started yet. First, do we, Alvin?
No, but I'm just gonna put on our little trailer there on the bottom.
Yep.
But the people out on the side, let us know if you're gonna wanna get in on the show. You know, I know I've been yelling at you people. Come on, you know it's not hard. So
pretty easy.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's really easy.
It was as in front the quotes from one of the movies. Come on in, the water's fine. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll talk about it. Again, spoiler alert, if you've not watched this movie, we'll probably spoil it for you. So, and I know we may have somebody else that'll pop in a little bit. So let me go ahead and get started. And we'll let whoever wants to talk about this first. I'm not sure which one of you guys want to jump on it, but here we go.
Groot.
All right.
What was it like to be in the movie, Groot?
I am Groot. A small stick can be a big prick, you know. But anyways, I thought the story explaining how Rocket got to be the way he was, because I mean, you go with the first story when the first time Star-Lord sees him, you know, with his shirt off and looks at his back, and he really can't say what happens, doesn't tell anybody what happens. But I thought it was excellent. I thought it was probably, to me, I thought it was the best Guardians. So I put the third one, then the first one, and the second one. Excellent story. Enjoyed it. And I mean, I'm actually saying something nice about a movie. That doesn't happen very often.
I know.
Yeah. So no, I enjoyed it. I really did. I think I've watched it. I'm like freaking Andrew with the Spider-Man movie. I think I've watched it 4 times.
Yeah, I think I'm at 4 or 5. I think I'm either at 4 or 5 on this.
I think these Marvel movies are actually hard to review because, like, if you're not a Marvel fan, they can be hard to get into. But I would say like Guardians of the Galaxy and probably maybe Thor, they're good for non-Marvel fans. Do you know what I mean? Because they're kind of like, it's not like intertwined into the massive story. It's not like, oh, you've got to see this movie and that movie and that movie to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And this one,
at least it wasn't another one of these freaking, like I was telling Aubin last night, one of these another multiverse. Everybody seems to be going into this multiverse crap, and it just confuses everything. This was basically
drives me crazy.
But it's good for the industry though, because it can be good for fans because it just opens up the whole possibilities of older fans' characters being involved with newer fans' characters. But Guardians.
But they're just grabbing characters and throwing them in.
Well, yeah, there's got to be the story's got to be there as well.
Right, so, the story has to be there.
Yeah.
Because I was confused.
Well, when it comes to the Guardians movies, I kind of agree with Beach. I think this one and number 1 are the better of the 3 because like 2 kind of like Two's like I said, it's more like involved in the whole story of the Infinity Stone thing. Whereas this one and the first one kind of like it's just about the characters of it's just about the actual Guardians in this one, and in this one with it being the focus being Rocket. I think, like Beat said, I think they did his story really well, and of like how he became, like how the hell is the talking raccoon, and I just don't know. I don't know if there's anything bad about it.
I think, but I think his character, even in Guardians 1 and 2, Rocket's character was always good. I mean, Bradley Cooper plays him, but his character was always good. He was witty, funny, sarcastic, a bit mean. He had like a good mixture. So I think they picked the perfect character to do a prequel or a kind of an origin story on his character. I think it was the best one they could have done. It's one of the better characters for the series. I definitely love Rocket. I think he's one of the better characters in the whole thing.
Well, in this reboot, and I told Robin last night when we were watching it, I love the character Cosmo, the Russian cosmonaut dog.
Yeah.
I mean, as good as that was in this movie, I wish it would have been there from the beginning, because it just cracked me up. What he said? He said, "I'm a bad dog."
Yeah. That was funny.
What every dog hates to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would not let it go.
No.
He had a memory. He's like, halfway through the movie, you're gonna take it back. You're gonna take it back.
All right. I got it. Yeah. Go ahead, Eddie.
Well, I haven't seen the other two movies before, but this one I started off and I said, well, because I'm not into Marvel comics or anything like that. But as soon as I heard the first song, that drove me right into
music.
It dragged me in. It got me there. And then there was a part in there where I think just before they took the turtle and they put it in the container and he's getting ready to zap it. There was a bass line in there, man, that knocked me off. After that, man, I was 100% in there. But what I really liked in this, and I don't know if all the other movies are the same, is the costume designs of all the characters, the way they're dressed. It was really exceptional.
Yeah.
You got to watch the first one, Eddie. The music in the first one. The music in the first one's fantastic.
All of them.
They do a good job. I mean, I actually have it on, and I said, "Good music as always," right? Because they grab a lot of older music and they throw them in there, and you're like, "Wow, I love that song." And I did think that there was a handful of songs in this one. The first one definitely. The soundtrack for the first one was the best. The soundtrack in this was good, very good. Not as good as the first one in my opinion, but definitely the soundtrack for these movies are just really good, and they do it every time. I mean, they don't mess around with the music. They pick
the songs were well placed. You're not expecting it. All of a sudden, when the song hits it, it wakes you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things last night I was talking about. Yeah, I would love to see how, like, after one of these movies are released, to go to Spotify and see how certain songs, if their listenership increase.
Yes.
Because you're getting 20-some-year-olds or younger kids. I've never heard that song before. Like what happened with Stranger Things and Kate Bush.
Yeah, Bush, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, God, that's a horrible freaking song. And
Stranger Things and Metallica. What was it? Sanitarium?
Yeah.
Or I think
right. So I mean, if anything, is the best thing about it is exposing a bunch of different generations to actual music where musicians actually sang and played instruments.
And actually wrote a song. instead of just doing remakes or remixes.
Mm.
But
the cinematography was great. I loved it, even though there was there was a lot of CGI in there.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh
yeah. There was so much CGI, and the funny thing is, it was like I was reading about Groot, Vin Diesel's character. He only just did the voice. He didn't do any of the motion stuff for it. It was someone else that did the motion for Vin Diesel.
It's the best movie he's ever been in.
Yeah. I got to say though, I don't know. I guess we'll ask you, Eddie. Being a first-time watcher of this stuff, did you understand what was going on or who was who?
Well, yes, no, I didn't understand who was who, but I understand the basic storyline from the beginning when they had to, get something to cure, Rocky Raccoon,
Rocket.
That I understood.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not saying I had to go back and watch the other movies. This movie I understood and I liked it. I was surprised.
Now, will you? I just want to know, will you?
I'm going to go back and see Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
First one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you guys are right and you say the music is even better, I'm going back there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely is.
But I did like I thought that this particular segment of the movie, the storyline where this is a living organism, was a very interesting. That was it was goofy in some aspects. There was aspects of it that was like, it almost looked like a sphincter, like that the door would close. And but there was a lot of tongue-in-cheek part, but I love the idea that this is like an organism. It's not a space station or something like that. It's actually a living organism. And like when she pulls that little microphone, it looks like a molecule. She pulls it right in front of her. She's talking to it. It was little things like that. I was like, that's cute. I mean, you've never seen a space station or a planet or whatever they want to. I guess it was a space station that's basically a living being. It is an organism, and I thought that was a neat twist on something you haven't seen in other movies that's just being redone.
Mm-hmm.
But I found this movie, it wasn't as far-fetched as a scientific movie as I've ever seen before. This one, it was like not borderline, but a little bit advanced, and I couldn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did make a bad character someone that you really didn't like. You know how Marvel, one of the things about Marvel, I feel like over the last few years, even all the bad people did it for a good reason. And we think of Thanos or something like that. He was doing what he was doing, but he was thinking of the greater good. Even this guy who was doing it for, he thought the greater good to create something, but it was more of his ego. It was all about his ego of creating, and I created this. So in this, I did like that they actually created a bad character that I didn't feel sorry for. Over the last few movies, when I watch Marvel, some of the bad guys, I kind of feel for them. Spider-Man, for example, in all those people that were in there, most of the bad people in the last Spider-Man movie didn't mean they didn't mean to become what they, Jamie Foxx didn't mean to try to become that electricity guy or the sand guy. They were they weren't bad people. Whereas this guy, it was almost crazy, and I didn't really feel for him, if that makes sense. It just seems like a lot of the movies that you kind of feel for the bad guy a little bit.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't like that. I don't want to see the bad guy's conscience. Okay, if I want to see a bad guy, I want to see a bad guy, because I read the comic books where you'd be reading it and you're like, okay, yeah, you really hate this guy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, in today's time it's like, oh well, no, he was sorry that he cursed at somebody, or he was sorry that he hit the guy. No, I want the bad guy. That's why That's why he's the bad guy. You know,
yeah, it needs to be.
Don't try.
Well, that's my point. I think in this
Yeah.
one, he is a bad guy and he stays a bad guy. Whereas I feel like over the last 8-9 years, when we see a movie like this, I think and a lot of times they make me feel, and I can be like, I understand his logic, and I kind of feel for the bad guy. This one, I didn't. I had when he got his face ripped apart. I didn't mind that at all. I was like, yeah, you know what? You deserve that shit. You know, I mean, so the bad guys weren't redeeming. I didn't have redeeming qualities, and I did. That's what I did like about this. That I didn't feel that they didn't have a redeeming quality. I was kind of happy that they were a bad guy, and I was happy that they were getting their ass whooped.
Yeah, well, it's got to be like a bad guy that you want the heroes to defeat, isn't it? You're really rooting for them to win. You don't want to be sympathetic towards the bad guy.
Right.
That jumpsuit scene was so funny. The different colored jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Just before
the buttons on the hand,
with the buttons,
the green buttons for me, the yellow, and
blue is for everybody. Green is for yellow, and yellow is for orange.
I did laugh when she's like, "Hello." I when I watched that yesterday, I actually laughed because I was like, because she says, "Let's test it," and when she does that, I kind of giggled because it was just like all of a sudden.
For this kind of movie, I didn't find it long because there was so much action into it. Did anybody else find it was too long?
I thought it was long.
Really?
Yeah.
And I never say a movie is too long, but
I really enjoyed it the first time, and then when I went to watch it for this, and I realized, it's 2.5 hours, and I agree with Eddie. I didn't feel like 2.5 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Because this is your type of movie.
This is my world.
This is your world, yeah. And that's why you want it. That's why you don't mind watching it twice.
So I would find anything hard to watch for 2.5 hours if it was a terrible story.
Yes.
Well, Scarface
that explains why you never watched the Streaming Matters show, because that's over 2.5 hours long.
They're 2 hours long, sir. I try to keep them right at 2 hours. No, but with I think this is honest truth. I think I've seen this movie, 4 times. I would think I've had it. We've actually turned it on and had it playing while we were doing other stuff. Where I sat down and watched.
That's not watching a movie.
Well, but it was going, and I would sit down for a little while and watch a bit of it.
No, if you're going to get up and walk away from the movie, I got shit to do. Well, then use your 2.5 hours perfectly. Say you know you're not going to get up to do anything else but watch the movie.
I don't know about that.
That's not spending the time of movie.
Let me ask you if anybody else thinks. One thing I noticed, or I thought in this movie, there was a lot more, I would say, hand-to-hand violence, I thought, in this one versus the first two. Because basically, the first one, they're fighting Ronin, and they're just blowing up ships out of the sky. Basically, the same with the second one, where Ego, yes, they're trying to blow up Ego's brain to set free, but they're blowing up other spaceships. On this one, there was no just spaceships floating around in the sky they were killing. They were in hand-to-hand combat a fair amount. And that's one thing I noticed. It didn't bother me, but I just noticed it. I was like, okay, wow, they're going a little more on the gratuitous violence, which is fine by me, and it's fit. But I just thought that was different from the other two movies. So I don't see if anybody else.
I know what you're saying. I think so.
Yeah, because you think about it, there was only there's where the scavenger ship comes in. When the scavengers circle them, and then Gamora comes on, but then the other part where is when that scavenger ship comes in and shoots, Leatherface's ship. That's really those are your big space scenes. I mean, you're right. There wasn't much stuff going on with that. It was hand to hand. I wonder why they decided to change it up.
Because how many people were really actual, people with super abilities? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, they didn't. You had a little bit. They used a little bit during when Gold Spaceman, Superman came.
Mm-hmm.
They fought a little bit.
Yeah.
And then used some of their powers and guns. And then it was like you said. Then really there wasn't any.
Nobody. Yeah.
Quill didn't use. You didn't see him using his star power. His star. What's he? Star King.
Star Lord.
Star Lord. You didn't see him really using many of his powers on that, flying around.
And now that, as you say his name for a second, because I was thinking of something in the movie that I didn't understand. You remember, like towards the end, when Star Lord was trying to jump back to that ship, but when they separated, and he froze. Right. In the other movies, am I wrong? But didn't he have like a face shield or something that he hit a button by his neck and the thing popped down?
Yeah.
Well, was it a different suit or something? I have no idea. But I was going in with the impression of, oh well, he can just hit that and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think he had that suit on.
Left it in the other ship. It was charging.
Yeah. You're right.
That's what I hate about having so many different movies, because then I get confused. Because if I see him out there in space, I'm thinking, oh, it's okay. He's got that button there. He hits that, and he can fly through space. So otherwise, then that means you're really not not a superhero.
Well,
this is your version of counting bullets, isn't it? You didn't have any bullets.
He lost whatever powers he had, if you remember, like in the first.
No, I don't remember. That's the problem.
Well, okay. In the first one, he was able to handle an Infinity Stone because he had ego from his father. He did have some superpower in him. But once he killed, in the second movie, once he killed his dad, all that power was gone. So basically it turned him, he's a mere mortal now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Right. I didn't realize that.
Sorry for screwing that up for you, Eddie. But,
Eddie just wants to listen to the music.
Yeah, Eddie's like, what's the next song coming?
He just wants the music, yeah. And I'm still confused. You know what I mean? I just can't get it, because I don't know what movie was what, and how far back, who said what, and you guys are like rattling stuff. Well, I don't get it, I just can't get it.
Well, I do think you guys did state this. I do think that this movie does stand alone. I think really even all the Guardians movies, you could go and just jump into one Guardian movie and feel your way around and it stand by itself without, like you said earlier, I think Alban or Andrew said it, where you have to have known the Marvel timeline. When you're watching a lot of Marvel stuff, there is such a timeline that goes on with that, and they'll put people in there, and you're like, who the hell is that? Oh well, if you'd have watched 3 movies ago, you knew who that was. All these movies and Guardians, even though they tie into the universe, the Marvel universe, the Marvel timeline, you don't have to know or watch those other things for this to stand on its own. I do think that's one of the good things about the Guardian series.
They should still put something in the beginning of the freaking movie saying, okay, like
Star Wars. Like you want that?
Yeah.
Do you want that scrolling thing?
Yeah.
Now this is happening.
Should be editing the freaking movie. Okay, let me know ahead of time where you're dropping me off, because you just pick me up and drop me into space and onto a planet that I don't know where this planet came from. That everybody is there.
I can see the next Star Wars promo that I do is going to be the extended director's cut, because I'll have to explain the whole synopsis.
Yeah, what happened?
Exactly, so Aubin can understand what we're going to watch.
Yeah. Oh my God!
God, they should just send open the script. Just send them the script.
You know what? I'll have to do that because it's just not. It's not fair.
Did anybody get any soft spots with pet lovers? Like at the end when Rocky, he gets all the other raccoons and he brings them, Oh man.
Well, it pulls at your heart when they're in the cages and they're getting floor and teeth or tooths, whatever his name was.
Teeth.
You get a little choked up. I mean, it kind of will grab you a little bit in the feels when they all died, and Rocket was thinking, I'm gonna save all of my friends, my family. I'm gonna save my family.
My family.
And then they all get killed, and he loses it. And that was, again, this guy plays the bad guy, and when that first one gets killed, and Rocket's crying. And he's like, okay, now get back in your cage. And you kind of giggle, and then all of a sudden you see he snaps. And that was where he turned from an all-pleasing, trying to be the pleaser and do the right things, to no, I can't. And he snaps, and it does kind of grab you in the feels. I thought they did a good job. Again, I love movies that kind of make you laugh, but make you kind of choke you up a little bit. Maybe not cry, but allergies kick up a minute. But I like the way that they mix that up on some of these movies like that. I did find it far-fetched that the dog held the two spaceships together. That was my only.
That was the other girl that gave him the power to do it. That you're so strong, you can do this.
That's not giving the power. The dog had the power.
The dog had the power. So that you just said it. The dog had the power to do it.
Hey, can I have this to put on my wall? I did laugh at that part too, because he goes, "Oh, that's really good. Yeah. Can I have that to put on my wall?"
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting there. Our friend's missing to look like he's dead. They're arguing about the signals, and Drax is putting his feet up on the sofa, and
I love how his creations just had generic names like War Pig.
Yeah.
It was funny when when they landed on that one planet, and then they have all those characters, and all of them were really good. I mean, none of them got mad, because they had solved the how to make them kind. They were all kind. So I thought that was interesting, and you could see how the bad guy, I can't remember his name. He's like, whoop, wipe it. Every time it doesn't work, well, we're just going to destroy it all, and we're going to start all over again. And he's destroying a whole planet because this didn't work out right.
Yeah.
I did like this part here also when he's like, oh, and she goes, quit looking at me like you're a little puppy looking for a soft place to lie.
Yeah. Never noticed how black your eyes were.
Yeah, he did that as a torture. Oh, he picked a really good set.
Yeah, I mean, and then it was like, I think it was later when they're going there, and he goes, "Oh, the sheets are down. They shoot the guy that looks like a carrot," and then sure shit, the guy's face looks like a carrot when they end up leaving. You see him go. So there were a ton of those in there that gave me a chuckle. I'm just a simple fuck.
And they did. I think Blue told me that you're allowed to use fuck one time or twice in a movie or something like that.
Yeah.
And they used it in this scene when she couldn't get in the car.
Right.
And she dropped the F-bomb.
Right.
It was like the only really. I only think they dropped it one time, but she drops the F-bomb, and I think
I thought it was another time also that they did.
Because she said you're allowed to drop it a
Twice?
number of times and still keep your PG-13. What?
Hmm.
True?
True.
Okay. Yeah.
So everyone else out here knows that's Blue. She is the most wanted person that I've ever known that would love to even just hear her voice.
Put
her
picture,
and pick
put her
up her
picture on a
phone.
milk bag.
I know. I listen. I'm actually looking to do that. Gonna create a bag and put a picture on it.
We're watching that last night when Rocket comes in there and Peter's all drunk at like the bar or whatever. Rocket walks over to that little thing, opens the refrigerator up, and I told him, and I said, "Look, they don't even have milk bags in outer space."
Just tell Blue to pick up the phone and join us.
No, she ain't going to.
No, she ain't going
to.
Oh.
She's in there cleaning. You gotta hold her. She's in there doing some cleaning. Let's not slow up.
Well,
slow up
production. Oh my God!
Let her handle it. She got that under control.
What was the budget for this one? Do you know?
$245 million.
Yeah.
How much? Sorry.
The budget was $250 million. $250 million, and it grossed $845.
In the side, I'll put all the.
Yeah, let's see.
The link for.
How many people watch the credits at the end?
No, you always have to watch the credits.
You have to, yeah.
You have to. A must.
I think the credits were as long as the movie.
Well, that's part of the 2.5 hours. That's part of 2.5, and you can always fast forward past that.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta Marvel. You gotta sit there, and I mean that's the very last thing they show you. And we were talking about it last night. Was the last one they pops up and says Star-Lord will return.
Will return.
So I'm trying to think of, is there another Guardians coming, or is that going to be like a DC Plus? Just the Star-Lord series.
I don't think there'll be another Guardians, but I think they'll be part of the next Avengers movie.
Yeah,
I think there'll be another Guardian, because I know Dave Bautista said this was his last one.
Yeah,
yeah, because I had to look up last night on Chris Pratt to see if there was anything in production, and there's nothing mentioned. I mean, the next thing he has in post production right now is he's doing the voice of Garfield for the new Garfield.
Oh, really?
But Bautista, they already basically wrote him out, and okay, you're a father now. You understand? So who needs him for for next movie? And let alone like someone else can't play him. You know what I mean? I hate that you think that you can sit there and say, "Oh, I'm done playing the part." Okay, good, you're done. We're not. We'll get someone else in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
Because you get attached. You get attached to certain. That's why everyone went crazy for the new Spider-Man when the old Spider-Man came in, because people were attached to these other Peter Parkers.
And it does. It's when you change characters like that. I mean, I think our same thing with like Batman. And to me, it loses some when you take a character and you swap them with somebody else, and you're supposed to just pretend, oh, that is the same.
Different. It's a bit different though, Todd, because like Batman and 007 and Superman and other characters like that, you expect like that they're gonna have an actor, and then they're gonna do a certain amount of movies, and then they're gonna have another actor. Like that's kind of like been the way for quite a few years.
Well, yeah, they've done it for so long. Yeah.
When it's a team setup like this, like just to have one person for 3 movies and then or just replace them with a different person and pretend that that actor has been. It just wouldn't. I couldn't see anybody else playing Drax, and I don't really think there needs to be more than 3.
Don't do it because, like at the end of the snippet where they showed Rocket leading his own little Guardians, you know,
that's it. Yeah.
Now, yeah. So it's just, I mean, who knows?
Bautista wasn't there. Yeah, he was, right?
No, he wasn't.
No,
there.
he wasn't. So that's what I'm saying. Who needs him? Oh, yeah.
Moving on. They're moving on without him.
They're moving on without him. You know.
Well, that's fine to do that, but just don't replace the actor and pretend that.
Well, but sometimes they have to. So let's say, for example, now, you know, with the whole strike thing here, let's say the actor gets screwed out of his deal, and he says, "Well, I'm not going to do the movie no more." Do you really think that the movie execs are going to say, "Oh my God, that's it"? You know, the character, he's not going to play the character anymore. We can't replace him. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. They're going to find somebody to put in that.
It might depend on the situation, though. If it's someone that's played the character for a while, then they might just write the character out.
You can write him out, but you could always get someone better to play the part. You know, hey, they can. It's like we were talking, Dave and I, about, you know, replacing some of these guys, or these guys come back, you know, using AI. Like you get who did we say? Bond. Who was it? Who were we talking about? One of the James Bond, Sean Connery, to do AI. You know, they just take his voice, and because they have so much, you know, of him, you know, that they could do anything. You know, who's to say they can't do that? They'll be able to. You know, people, you know, they just don't think. They don't understand what work is. You know, because we all know we have to work hard to get where we are. So we do anything what we had to, not sit there and mouth off and well, I'm me, and you're not going to be able to replace me. I'm sorry, you can be replaced. Yeah. Okay,
but his thing was, and I think when I read a press release, he said that his character it's pretty much played out, and he says he doesn't want to keep playing the same. He wants to play lead roles, not just
right. I understand that.
Sidekick.
But I'm talking about these people that say, "Oh, that's it. I'm done with acting now."
Oh,
you understand? Yeah, but you've only been acting for 4 or 5 years. You know?
Yeah, but with this one, though, Auburn, like I think they were always just planning on doing 3 movies, and then if his character was to appear any other time, it would be like in the Avengers type movies where he's just going to be like a side character anyway. So it doesn't really matter if he's in it or not. So there's not really an importance to replace the actor to have it's just going to be like a secondary character or third,
right?
Like in a movie where there's going to be so many other huge actors and characters that it doesn't really matter if he's in it or not.
Let me ask this question. Let me throw this question out to the panel. So we saw the snippet at the very end where the new, I'm gonna call it the new Guardians, led by Rocket. Do you think that cast, mainly I would say Rocket would be the one holding down the main force. Do you think that's a strong enough group of people to, if they wanted to do a Guardians of the Galaxy offshoot of that, do you think that those characters could be enough to hold another movie to make people watch? Do you think those characters are developed enough, or because you'd have the dog, the guy,
a lot of them are new,
Rocket, and then the guy with the
Scraglin, who's James Gunn, the director and writer, his brother.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, you'd need more. You'd need probably Quill, because you'd need like a couple of really established characters already, and you can't really have Rocket and Groot because Groot doesn't add anything other than I am Groot.
Yeah.
It would be carried by Rocket.
He said something else yesterday too, didn't he?
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah, but he's not going to go into like you're not going to jump straight into another movie where he's just doing full dialogue and.
No. That was kind of a fluke thing, and I think it was kind of a one-timer.
I mean, it happened in one of the other movies.
I mean, if whoever wrote the Volume 3 script could write the script of those new characters, then yeah, I think they could pull it off. Because I mean the storyline on this movie was I think of all three of them, I think it had the best storyline.
Mm-hmm. Of course, I do think it had a good story. I think it does the better storyline and tied a lot of stuff in. Because I think of the reason why I asked that question. So I would think when we were talking about Guardians, if it was a volume 4, so Rocket would be your main character, and then the guy. Who's the guy? Who's the scavenger or the Ravenger? Scraglin. So Scraglin would be the main character, and then the dog. I mean, Rocket would have enough funny things to say, but could the other characters pull enough? Because you think about
whoever writes it. You can write anything in you want.
But you can write anything you want. But if you don't have enough characters work, and let's use last week for example.
Mm-hmm.
So we had last week when we did Transformers, I just couldn't believe the actress that played the lead role. I struggled with that. So you got to have the right people and the right chemistry because she threw it up. She almost ruined the movie for me.
Right, but the writing didn't ruin it. It was just that actress. Her acting. That's my point. They, the director. That comes down to the director to sit there and say, you know what, this doesn't feel right. Mm-hmm. Let's put somebody else in there. Why waste all those millions of dollars to sit there and keep doing the same thing with one person and you're not feeling it. You understand? Well, it's not like years ago where the director was the one who had to say. Right. Okay, today it's the actors sit there and they moan and complain about something and they get their way, and so you're ruining a movie. It's a different time. It's different now. It's not like how it used to be. That's why we're not getting what we're used to watching. We're not getting a good film because it was just down to one person, the director, who's going to sit there and say, no, that's not my vision of what I'm looking at. Plain and simple. That's how I feel. Because today, these people, it's just like how this younger generation gets up and they say, okay, well, I'm not going to start work until 10:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? And they get away with it. Yeah. When we grew up, that wasn't happening. You'd be looking for another job. Why a boss would put up with that, I can't understand for the life of me. And it's the same thing. Let the director direct. That's his job. Yeah. That's his one and only job, to sit there like this all day long and say, okay, this is my vision. This is what I want to see done. Plain and simple.
Well, I do think actors have a lot of control over this stuff.
Right, and they shouldn't. Well, because they're the same ones who's going to sit there and say, nah, I don't want to do this no more. They're the same ones doing that. So it comes down to the director. The director has to sit there and know these people well enough to be able to say, you know what, I know you well enough. I know you're going to be able to get this done right for me. It's just like with Eddie's voice, that they know that other director trusts and knows them. That okay, you know what, you're perfect for this. You're perfect for this, and this, because I know you could do this in the background and still be able to do the other stuff. Director.
Well, in the olden days, the director had 100% control.
Right. Right.
Today they don't.
They don't. Yeah, because then the movie house has something to say, and then someone else comes in and says, "Oh, you can't say this in the movie." You know what I mean? And that could be something so important. So now I got to pick and choose when the hell I'm gonna say fuck. I don't get it.
You only get it twice.
Right, you only get it twice. Who's doing that? You putting in Morse code?
Andrew's over there Morse coding the damn thing.
Yeah.
He's Morse coding.
Sorry, it's because I'm on my phone today, so. Hold on. Is Owen done with that rant?
Let's talk about Scarface.
Okay, guys, it's been a great show. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't let that one go. Andrew, I don't even bug you about it. You know what? Because one day you'll try it.
One day when I've watched all the movies, I'll watch that one.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say, "Damn, that was so good. I gotta watch it again."
Do my own review. The title of the video: I was forced to watch Scarface.
Well, what I have to do is tie you both down and put on Scarface and Harry Potter.
But I've watched the Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying? I did my half.
Oh, okay.
I did my half already.
Hey, I was just thinking of you could do like what was that Orange?
Orange is the New Black.
No, that old movie.
What, Clockwork Orange?
Clockwork Orange. You could do like that and like hold his eyes.
So no, listen, don't even talk about that because I had that done to me. When the doctor gave me shots in my eyes, oh God, that ain't fun. And then the doctor saying to me, "You got to stop moving." I'm like, "You got a fucking needle in my eye," you know. You sit down, and it was a long needle too. Oh my God.
Well, before you go, Andrew, let's just say last night, some of us became possession of the Spider-Man movies in 3D. So, if you ever get an Oculus headset, you can come watch them in 3D.
Well, when you guys fundraise and send us one, that's what I'm waiting on. When you get the GoFundMe going.
Well, I'll tell you what. As soon as I get my royalty,
I'll just wait until Todd buys the new one. Todd can send us his old one. He's always buying new gadgets. As soon as he's bought the new one, I'll get his.
All right. Well, hey, one of the things I did mention when I watched this movie right here, at this segment right here, you know what I said? I said, Quill gets it honest because look at his dad's into different colored people just like he was. Because Quill was into Gamora, who was green, and then he's eyeballing her sister. And Pop's here. He got himself a black wife.
I thought she was like the.
I thought she was like a medical ways.
No.
Yeah, I thought that she was because they only showed her there, and she turned, and when he walked in, and so you didn't get to see what that's. I wasn't taking it that way. I really didn't.
No,
because I thought that she was a nurse.
Yeah, me too.
She ain't got no nurse uniform on.
Nah,
I thought
because if you
that she did.
Okay, so if you go back and then later on when they're sitting there eating the cereal, and they're talking about she's out there cutting the grass while her 45-year-old son's sitting on the front porch doing nothing, and then his grandfather was like, "Don't even get me started on that subject." He's like, I kind of want to hear more about it now. So I assumed that's when they were talking about her. So
it could be his girlfriend. Could be Grandpa's girlfriend or his dad's girlfriend.
Could be.
Or it would be his grandfather, wouldn't it?
But I never took it as his wife. I took it as a home health aide.
Yeah. No. Yeah, because he was so old. He was so old, right? Because the grandfather was supposed to be in his 90s, correct? Or
yeah.
You like him young.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how old she was. She could have been in her 80s.
But she wasn't. No, black don't crack.
I know.
That is not the same age as them.
I saved that one for you all, but I didn't even pick that one up. I laid it out there for you. All right, so we want to go ahead and do our reviews on this, or give our
everyone vote in Telegram.
Yeah, I voted before I watched it because I had already seen it.
I voted. Look at there. I was ahead of the curve. Okay, so so we're gonna go ahead and start. If you've watched the show before, this is where we'll do play or pass. And so play means that you would recommend this to your friends and your family. Pass would be you would not recommend this to anybody. You don't want to watch it. You want to earn that time back. So give us a play for a recommendation for this movie, or a pass where that you did not like it. We'll run through the panel as well as people in the side chat. You can vote, and we'll start with Andrew, we'll start with Eddie, who's over on the far right.
Okay, I'm giving it a big play, and it's encouraging me to go see Galaxy One. So,
all right.
It's a good one for me.
Okay. Mr. Andrew, play or pass on this one?
Yeah, it's a play from me. My partner has not seen any Marvel movies. She's not interested in seeing any Marvel movies. But I'm going to try and get her to sit with us and watch them. And I will probably start with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. That's a good
Just a drawing.
Yep. Pull her in slowly. Just turn the water up. Just turn the temperature up just a little at a time. What about you, Mr. Dubbage?
Okay, so this is episode 4. So finally, the 4th episode, I can say the words "play" come out of my mouth.
I was like, wait, this is the 3rd of this movie. But yeah, so episode 4 of this season of Player Pass.
Yep.
All right, so that's a play for you. What about you, Mr. Aubin?
I'm a play as much as I was not understanding when the movie first started.
you were able to catch up.
Help me get it. Yeah, help me catch up, because too many different. I won't even talk about what the Green Beret there. What happened with the. Is it really her, or is it a half half sister or
she's a different
something?
timeline. Different timeline.
Okay, so now they explained everything.
Timelines.
This is the reason why I miss Blue. Okay, because Blue wouldn't sit there and try to send out a message back to some other timeline like Andrew. No, she would have just come to shut the fuck up and would have told me, what the hell happened in the movie. Okay,
we go watch the movie.
Huh?
We're gonna call
it movie.
You got Plex Whore on there. Can you just change that to Grumpy Old Man?
Because
he needs to change that tag, because it's always the Grumpy Old Man. I thought the Beach has to give that title over, because Auburn owned that one today.
Is he on Grumpy?
No, he's okay. It's got to be your 3rd or 4th rant. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I have to complain about it. Let's. I think that we should check the in IMDb. Take a look at what some of the reviews there were for grumpy people like me.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a couple. Look at there. Redneck says, "Get off my lawn, dude." So what's the and I'll give it a play. I know, like I said, I've watched it 4 times, and Blue and I both loved it. And I will say that
you two have been living too long together already, because here you are watching a movie 4 times. Okay,
and it was on my 65-inch LED OLED LG. I couldn't help it. I know Beach is all about the high sense, but it's all right. It looked beautiful on there. So what was our? So I see we've gotten a bunch of plays over here on the side. What was the Telegram vote?
Telegram
16-2.
Yeah.
16-2.
16-2. Yep.
All right. So this movie has a.
Woohoo!
Look at there. Look at this show spares no
a
expense.
huge budget here.
Hey, you're the one who said you should make something with it. So,
hey, just like when Eddie's kids came on there, they're like, "Wow, look at all the damn extras this show has." Why we haven't been picked up? Why we have not been picked up by the big guys? I don't know.
Well, I mean that was the only bad thing about when Eddie's kids were over. Mark likes to talk, and I couldn't get in my digs about what I didn't like because I had to leave to go set up the first freaking fight that night. So, I mean, I'm sitting there chomping at the bit, waiting for my spot when he said, well, it doesn't matter when Optimus Prime shows up because it's a whole different story. And I mean, I trust me, I was going to go full Aubin and say, bullshit. You know, you just can't tell me to forget about the story for the 6 other freaking movies previous, you know. Yeah, where's the Star Wars prologue saying this is a whole new Optimus Prime, everything in your past, you know, it's like Men in Black, shoot the thing in your eyes, forget everything you've seen with the last 6 fucking Transformers movies. This is starting all new. Exactly. Click. Yeah. So I meant to bust his balls about that.
All right, so we got the so that it gives a play. Enough people have given this a play, so definitely we can recommend this to be a movie that you want to. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So check it out, and we'll kind of change. We'll try to change gears a little bit, and this is where we open up the show to just discuss any movies, TV shows, those types of information, and we go on for about a half hour. We got time to talk about some stuff and things that are going to be going on this weekend. So we'll open the floor for other stuff that people are watching. All right, Mr. Andrew, because he's got
yes. I would love to stay for this part, but I am at work tomorrow, so I'll have to pop because it's midnight here now. But I'll stay next time. Next time I won't be at work, so I'll be staying for the full thing. I'll enjoy listening to some more open runs. I'm going to catch up on the rest of this tomorrow. see what else he's got to complain about.
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Man, I'm looking. I've seen actually before I go. I saw that on Plex that Indiana Jones movie's on there.
Yes.
Is that good?
All the ones I got.
I will say this about the new Indiana Jones. If you liked the previous Indiana Jones movies, you'll probably like this and enjoy it. I watched it. I did want to watch it, but I wasn't sure what the quality was, so I didn't click on it. No, it's legit.
It's
awesome.
It's digital.
Yeah.
That's on my list.
Mine is legit.
Yeah.
So it's mine.
Yeah.
And also, if you're into indie, Andrew, I have all of the other indie stuff. So you can just do a search there for it, and you'll see all the young Indiana Jones stuff.
Yeah, this is a good throwback to the originals, the original Indiana Jones. I thought
he was going to say, if you're into indie stuff, you should watch Scarface. Listen, one day I will watch Scarface, but for the meantime,
yeah, I think
I'll torture you and let you.
Yeah, I know you will. But listen, I'll get your kids to watch it before you.
And my kids don't even sit for a full movie, so if you can get my kids to sit through Scarface, I'll be impressed.
They'll love it.
Your kids are not watching Scarface. No, I draw the line there. There is way too much in that movie. When the guy, no. The shower scene is enough.
Shower scene,
I'm going to come in here one day and tell you that I've watched it. God, what if I watch it and I tell you how crap it is?
Yeah.
Will it be worth it? I'll watch it. I'll watch it, I promise.
You know what, Aubin,
set up for you. Yeah.
What we have to do is get a Plex, change a certain person's access, and have one folder just called Scarface. Right. And that's all they have access to. So then when we get a notification that they have watched Scarface, then you can open up everything else.
Yeah, everything else.
So we can cut him off.
Yeah.
There you go. That's cold. That's cold.
But I've still got access to Todd's, and he would never do that to me, so it's fine.
That's right.
But then I have to watch every movie and TV show in 4K.
There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you got good TV.
And you guys,
put
it's been a pleasure.
another thing up for you also.
Love being on here, bro.
Okay, Andrew.
So you know. All right.
See you guys.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
All right. So, movies, TV shows that we would, we won't go too deep into the Indiana Jones because that would be, that's going to probably be on the wheel next week.
It'll be on the wheel.
Yep. Same thing with this Voyager of the Dementor, and Tina. Really?
I don't think it got high enough ratings to make it.
I just saw that it was listed. So
but it didn't meet your 6.5.
Right? Yeah. It didn't meet his standard.
All right. What about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That just dropped digitally.
Seeing how I'm the one putting the names on the wheel, no chance in hell we put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on there. With my luck, it'd win. Then I'd have to.
All right. What about Meg 2: The Trench? That won't
make the list. Somebody told me we were instructed not to put anything that was rated lower than 6.5.
Oh my God!
Right.
The Trench. We could rip that movie apart. There is so many.
Let's rip it apart.
That movie, the Trench.
There's nothing wrong with ripping something apart
because you got to laugh when you're watching that movie, though. You can't take it serious. It's not Jaws. I'm sorry, it's not the Jaws movie. This is Sharknado / Jaws.
Sharknado is great stuff. Okay.
Well, this is right close to Sharknado because there's so many crazy shit that happens in that movie.
Oh
I'm like,
my God.
What? Me and Blue are watching it and we're laughing because some of the stuff is just,
did they happen to did they give a shout out to Betty White?
I don't think they did.
Damn.
Why would they give a shout out to Betty White?
She was in the first one, wasn't she?
I don't
know.
Was that Meg? No, it wasn't Meg. That was
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid, I'm thinking.
That was Lake Placid. That was a giant alligator or something.
Yeah. I told you guys I'm losing my mind. I'm watching too many.
Okay, all right. Let me go. Let's see what the rating. Oh, it's only a 5.2.
I told you. I pay attention to this stuff.
I know. I know. I don't know. So I've watched this. Has anybody else on the panel watched this?
I haven't watched it yet. I will be watching it for sure.
I don't know about the people over in the side chat. I mean, that it is. It's comical. I mean, when you watch it, you got to be tongue in cheek. Some of the shit they do is just you're shaking your head like, come on, that's not even realistic. But it's funny. I mean, him holding back these sharks that eat whole ships and shit, and he holds it back with his foot. Come on, I'm like, what happened to the super strength these things had? But he's strong enough to hold it back.
He's got smelly feet. What the fuck, you know?
Yeah, Redneck said I thought it sucked. It's not Academy Award, but I found it to be funny. I laughed at it. So
yeah, I always laugh at it.
It's just silliness, but for folks that've been trying to watch Oppenheimer, I don't believe that's a digital release yet.
Not yet.
So don't stop trying to look for it. It is not I mean, there's cams of it, but Boogeyman, that is a digital release. That is available. No Hard Feelings, digital release. Elemental. I'm not sure if any of you guys
No Hard Feelings.
No Hard Feelings.
No Hard Feelings. I like that one.
Yeah, I haven't watched that.
Anybody else watch it?
That's on the wheel for next week. And also what will probably be on the wheel for next week is Barbie because it's supposed to drop the streaming on the 5th.
Yeah.
Really?
I already have it though.
You don't have a legit. It
might not be. I don't know.
You and them fancy TS, those TS cams. That's a fancy cam.
Is there anything else there on that list?
I was just kind of glancing through. I did watch Vacation Friends 2, not as good as the first one, but it is.
Oh, okay. Vacation
You,
Friends came out. Okay.
yeah, Vacation
Yeah.
Friends 2. I mean, it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Uh-huh. Is that the one we watched on the show?
I
With
think
the
so.
We watched.
John
Yes,
Cena.
we watched Vacation Friends.
Not as
on
good.
the
Like I
ship.
said, not as good as the first one.
I almost was going to put it on the wheel, but once again, it
It's too
doesn't
low.
meet the 6.5 threshold. So
Okay.
Listen, the threshold.
You know what reaches the threshold, right, Dave? Are the all those movies from international, those Korean movies, Spanish movies, everything with subtitles that are really good. I just watched one from Denmark. It was really good.
Like I've told you several times when I've published the wheel and gave you the list of movies, I've mentioned several times I hoped certain movies would get picked.
Yeah.
Because they would force a certain panel member to read the entire movie.
Right.
Because they were way past the 6.5 threshold.
I know the movies are to be watched, not read. I mean, the book is to be read.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's good to have.
Hey, there ain't no culture over here. The
Oh,
hell
why?
you talking
Are you upset because you have to deal with it already at home? We're having to watch stuff with subtitles with Blue. Is that why you don't watch anything
I still
with her?
don't watch. I still don't watch that with stuff.
Because all that anime and stuff is definitely.
No, I don't watch anime. She can go in the other room. I ain't watching that. So
that's how you get to learn other languages, bro.
I did see Boogeyman, the new 2023. What's this? The fourth Boogeyman. That is a digital release. I did hear Cobweb. This
was any good, Cobweb?
I said that it was actually a thriller. He said it wasn't bad to watch. He said it was kind of a thriller, not really a horror, but so I'm probably going to check that out for a scary thing. So I was trying to think.
Anybody else watch anything else lately, or even if it's older? Anyone out on the side?
I'm trying to think. What the hell? I've been watching more TV shows.
Yeah.
The movies. So I mean, like as usual, I've been watching documentaries. Like I said, I watched the Johnny Football.
I watched that. That wasn't too bad.
And it was. I know 619 over there talking about Twisted. I took 15 minutes of it, and I was just like, no, I had too many brain cells to watch this.
I watched Twisted Metal. We liked it. We enjoyed it. The humor is a little. The humor is a little different in this, and I couldn't put my finger on exactly the dialogue, the cadence, the way that in some of the humor was a little bit different. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. The latest show that we watched, and we've talked about it on here several times, was The Bear. I started watching The Bear.
Yeah, that's a really good show.
The season 2, season 1 was brilliant. Season 2.
How far are you into season 2, though?
2.
Over at least halfway. At least halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least halfway. I mean,
no,
it's gotten better, but
yeah,
it just wasn't
like the first season.
The first season was really good.
No, but I think that they answered a lot of questions.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're filling you in with history.
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
Last night was the 2-episode finale of What We Do in the Shadows. If nobody's ever seen that, if you want something stupid and something you're going to get some laughs at, I highly recommend that show.
Yep.
I just got 2 episodes on that.
Okay. Eddie, you know what came out, right?
Yes, Power.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Power's back, people. So we got that there to watch.
See where I got it?
So this is What We Do in the Shadows, and you said Power. Is it the regular Power or one of the spinoffs?
Book
one of the
4.
spin-offs.
The spin-off.
Not it's book 4, not that one. First one. The second one. No, yeah, that
Yes,
one.
that's it.
Yeah.
See how Nazi's
show.
going to get this season.
Yeah. Great show.
Hey, his Mustang he's driving, is it a Shelby or just an ordinary Mustang?
I think it's just a regular Mustang, but it's an older one. But I don't think it's a Shelby. No,
because I was driving down the street and there's a garage there, and they had a Shelby exactly like the one he had.
I
was just saying because I just saw the rear end of it. I didn't see the front. If I saw the front, but the rear end looks exactly like an ordinary Mustang, but it's only got Shelby on it.
Oh, okay. I watched something else there. I'm just trying to remember the name of it. It was An American Crime. It was a true story about a girl who was one of those, someone was taken type of thing, but it was a true story and happened in the 60s in the Midwest. And it was really good. Not what I was expecting. The way how they filmed it was pretty good, and it had it like had like you were basically part of the courtroom, basically watching this, but they were showing everything that how everything led up to what happened, and I thought it was really good.
Has anybody been watching Painkiller?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. It's on my list to watch, though.
Me too.
It's funny because I'm starting to see that I'm catching up on stuff because a lot of stuff isn't coming back because of the strike and all.
Painkiller.
Painkiller, yeah.
It's a Netflix series, Matthew.
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's about Oxycontin.
Opioid.
Oh yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of riffs about Gold Rush Mine Rescue and Hoffman Family Gold. Have you been hearing about this? There's a rift between the two. They say everybody's saying the Hoffman shouldn't have come back, but Mine Rescue is taking over from the Hoffmans.
Well, yeah, I've watched the Mine Rescue, which it's kind of an interesting spin because they're going to they just kind of drop in on people that are struggling, and so they'll take a look at their operation, saying, "Hey, you're losing gold here, or this we need to fix this and that." So, but it's also Mine Rescue is so you can watch one episode. It's not like a whole running. You know what I mean?
No,
you can watch one episode. It's just about that one situation.
It's what do you call it? Standalone episode.
Yep. So it's not like you have to watch the whole season. So I've watched that. I will say the last Gold Rush, Blue and I watched it. And she wasn't much, she's not much into those type of reality shows. So when I came here, she ended up watching some of them. And who's the guy?
Them or not?
Yeah, she does, but there's certain characters like the one where the guy that's the soldier. Shoot, I can't remember his name.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Fred.
The one that Fred, and she makes fun of that guy. Because he only hires ex-vets. It is Fred, isn't it? It's not the old Fred. It's the newer guy. And she makes fun because everything is like, all for the team, no man left behind. They've always got some little thing about the military, and we all stand for each other. We're all brothers in this. And she calls him Bad Luck Fred because she goes, anything he touches breaks. If there's no gold to be found, he's always digging for it because there's no gold there. It's like
did you know they threw him off the show?
I don't doubt it.
They threw him off. Yeah. But another one's coming back is Rick Ness. He's supposed to be coming back.
Oh, yeah. He had a drug issue. Who was the guy?
No,
Which
yeah,
one
the
was the one
depression.
where they went to his house? He was on some drugs. It wasn't just depression. Him and his girl ran through a bunch of money. I don't know that.
Yeah.
Remember, they went
I
to his
would
house
expect-
and he looked strung out.
Well, when they showed, put this way, you can put two together. When they showed his girlfriend, who was a nurse, okay, as I make air quotes, and I will say,
Yeah.
he was the head nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he just picked up at the bar.
Oof. It's just.
They talked about that, and he was, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. She ran through his money, and he looked strung out. And it was an interesting twist when they went to his place. And I'm like, homie, looking rough. And Blue had never seen much of those episodes when we had seen the season prior, so she knew who he was. And then we watched that, and she goes, "Holy shit!" She goes, "He's fell on bad luck." I'm like, I said, "Yeah, that looks like." I said that girl ran him because we remember seeing her in that season prior, and she looked like, yeah. Where did you pick her up at? It wasn't at the hospital.
But I heard that Tony Beats is trying to get in to bring back the dredges he bought. You remember he had one that was working, and the other one was halfway through.
Yeah, because he's got those ones that just sit there and just float. And but Tony is so nice now compared to what he was. You know, once he had a grandbaby, he's awfully nice now. Remember, he used to do nothing but just cuss everybody out and screaming at them, and now, you know, it's kind of Parker swears at people more than Tony does.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
Tony
know if
Beats,
I'm going to watch Heart of Stone since that stars Gail Gadot.
Oh, no, I won't be watching it then. No. Nope. I'm sorry, Leon. I'm going to have to pull this off here because I don't promote her. See, oh, my God. Yeah. Who can understand the word she's saying? She's like, oh, my God. I just want something else that she was going to be in.
And I saw where HBO canceled that series, The Idol, after one season.
Yeah. And did you watch it by any chance?
I haven't. I've not gotten around to watch it yet.
Listen, please at least watch 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah. I will.
Second episode. You have to. Oh my gosh. I'm so pissed off that they got rid of this one.
You told me that. So I mean, good or
that's why I want you to watch the first and second episode.
Okay.
Because the things it deals with, but it was more of the what you were seeing.
Okay.
Right.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have seen this One Piece. I didn't realize that this was an anime until I saw it on the track list that was trending. So this is a live action of an anime original TV show. I didn't realize that because I saw that it's trending, and I saw that today. But here's the original. You can see it's trending too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I bet you Blue doesn't even know about this one because I have
I
not.
doubt that.
I don't. No, she'd be on it, but right now she's still binging through so many of the Star Wars things.
Yeah.
No, she's working. Yeah, yeah, she's working through a lot of the animated ones right now. All the Clone Wars, I think, is where she's at. So yeah, she loves. I mean, she loves anime.
I know.
But to me, it feels like the same show over and over. It's like every episode is the same. It feels like it. I mean,
is it like the Japanese stuff or?
Yeah,
in Star Wars shows. I mean, Disney keeps pumping out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
that's Disney for you.
I'm just, I'm burned out on it.
Yeah. Disney.
All right. Last night I stumbled on Killer Joe. I don't remember.
Killer
I
Joe.
don't remember that one.
Killer Joe. I don't remember it either.
Name familiar, but I don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's on my list to watch. I didn't start it yet.
That's a movie.
It's in somebody's Plex.
Yes. Oh yeah, with Matthew McConaughey. Hey. That's right, because he's a bad guy in this.
Right.
Yes, I remember this was. I was like, wow, I really like seeing him as a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch this again because I forgot about that.
You did see it already or not?
Yeah, I saw it back.
Oh, okay.
2011, 2012. I saw it. So we're getting close. Is there any other big things going on this weekend, Mr.
Listen,
Hall?
not really. It's up to Dave with all the college football.
Oh,
Dave, what was that site that you put up for everyone to the college stuff?
FBS.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, I posted it in Stream Map. Basically, it just lists every college game, and it will tell you what it's going to be streaming on, whether or not it's ABC, CBS, Fox Sports 1, Fox, or if it's on ESPN Plus. So I just posted it in Streaming Matters because I know some people go looking for streams and they don't know what they'll have a channel, but they won't have an EPG listing. So if at least they know what channel is, it's a resource they can use there to find it. But you can also click in there and we'll do the same thing with programs.
Hold on, I'll do it. And it does work really well. I checked it out the other day after Dave posted in there, and you can change the day. So you can change what day it is. Week.
Mm-hmm.
And it does give you, and as you said, not EPGs always work. So sometimes if you just need to know it's on FS1 or the ACC network, or so if you have an idea of what channel to find it on, then sometimes you can hunt around. So that's what does work really well. I was playing around with it yesterday, because you posted it yesterday. But he does a good job of giving you all the games where you might be able to find it. So it's a good resource. Suggest people to bookmark it if you're a person that's into a lot of live events and you're looking to find those things.
Yep. And
it's a good
my nightmare starts tomorrow. When I start getting 3 or 4 texts a day saying, hey, what channel is such and such game on? So that's why I have it bookmarked on my phone. So I can just say.
But you can't just give them the website? I don't know. Here you go. Here goes the big list. Here you go. That's it.
I give them. I can tell them. It doesn't matter. Like I said, why do I burn subtitles into movies and TV shows?
No.
Dedication.
Man, no, I could never. I could never. It's attached to the file. The file, the book, the subtitle file is in the directory. They have to learn to go over and click on subtitles and then hit English. Okay.
I get paid back. I get a lot of free lunches and a lot of free dinners. As payback. So.
See, here's pulled up week 1. And here you go. So if you were looking for a certain particular game, let's say that you're looking for the Tennessee and New Orleans game, you have a service, you can look through some CBSs, and especially if you're in Tennessee or in New Orleans, if you look at one of those stations close to that area, you'd most likely be able to find the game pretty easy on CBS. But yeah, great resource. I think I actually bookmarked this in my browser just so to have it, because these are the kind of things that does make it easier when we see people saying, "Hey, I can't find the Miami and Chargers games. Where is it at?" I'm like, I don't know. So good. Fine.
Are you doing football in big screen tomorrow or not?
I am.
Okay.
I will be starting around noon or so. I'll be posting when I open.
Okay.
I mean, I did the NFL. I did it last year, so I'll be doing it this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So any of our friends that are Oculus users, look for us and go to our Telegram room. DeBeach will be having he'll broadcast in big screen, and it's like going to a sports bar with multiple screens going with different games, and he can highlight certain games. It's a great way to watch the games, and you're able to talk and chat, and it's so much better. I sit and watch the football games by myself, or if Blue's sitting there, and she'll be like, who are you talking to? I'm like, you guys, you just see that play? The guy over on the tackle on the right-hand side was holding, and she's like, nobody's listening to you. Whereas when you're in there with Dave, he's like, yeah, I did see that, or
Oh gosh.
And there's 8 different games going on at one time, so non-stop action. It just sucks that when all 8 games go to halftime and you're stuck with
Yeah, that does. All in commercial. There UFC now, wasn't UFC early, like in the afternoon tomorrow?
That was last week.
That was last week. Last week was in
it's like Singapore or something.
Singapore.
Yeah. That was in the morning. I thought
morning.
This one was at
like
I thought it was at 4:00 this week. I thought it was I thought it was a fight night, but it was like fight afternoon.
It's a fight night. Who was that?
Tomorrow, the preliminary card starts at 12:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the main card starts at 3.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're doing football, so I guess I'll do UFC quick.
Yeah.
Because that's gone. And what's it? Spivak
and Thorogon. I thought that one of them pulled out, but I guess not.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm looking on the UFC site, and I see that's.
I'll watch the weigh-ins.
I mean, I'll probably have one screen playing that.
Oh, okay.
That won't be my main focus.
It won't be a focus, though. Okay.
No, football.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what's playing tomorrow. Just so happy it's back.
No one's killing themselves out there, so
well, NFL doesn't start until next week.
Right? Yeah, I need to see blood on the field.
It's cold. All right, let's go ahead. We'll wrap this up because we're at an hour and a half. So I haven't forgotten anything, have I, Alvin? No other games.
No.
NFL will be next Thursday is the first game, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that Thursday is the first game, if I'm not mistaken, the 7th, September 7th. So that'll be starting.
Weekends will be games for I don't know. No, I don't think that Leon's getting up to watch his game here, right? His son, because like a Thursday game is
it'd be Friday.
Friday for him.
Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah.
He'd probably be up. He'd be up to watch the Thursday night. The very first game is Detroit at Kansas City, 8:20.
That should be now. You got to look at Detroit is everybody's Cinderella. There is so many the announcers, all the talk and the buzz is about Detroit Lions. Now I'm from Michigan. Do I put any faith in Detroit? Hell to the no. They have let you down so many times. It's like being a Jets fan. I am not getting excited about the Lions because they'll figure out some way of looking great for 3 quarters and then just shit the bed the fourth quarter. So even I don't care how much they talk about the Detroit Lions. No. So, hopefully they just have a winning season. That would be great. But I will say a show that I did watch, Quarterback. It was eight episodes. It followed Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, and Marietta. It followed them three quarterbacks, and you see a lot of the behind the scenes. Very good documentary. I enjoyed it. Eight
what was it
episodes.
called again?
Quarterbacks.
It's the quarterback. It's yeah.
No, I'm adding it now. It's okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good, and you get to see last season. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, Kirk Cousins was a joke to me first. He's been, but you watch that, and he's really got heart. He really tries. And they came up a little short last year, but they actually had a winning season. So I think that but it's definitely, if you're a sports person, I think that's a good show to watch, or I should say a mini series or documentary.
Mm-hmm.
That's worth watching if you're a sports guy / football fan.
Real football.
Yeah, Detroit doesn't have to worry about Aaron Rodgers, but Detroit does have to worry about they got to worry about the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to be a little bit, and Chicago. We're going to see what Chicago can do. And I think Chicago is got a chance to spark something. Their defense is really starting to step up, and really offensive line in your defense. Quarterback play can be okay, but it's the offensive line and the defense is what wins your games.
Look, Auburn's up there. He's just hoping the Jets look decent.
I think they're going to look decent.
They'll look decent. They'll look decent for 3/4 of their games, and then all of a sudden, it's like
Well, I mean, it worked out so well last time. They got an old quarterback from Green Bay to come in there. It worked out so good for them.
I don't know. I think that they have a better shot. I think this is the Jets are the new Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that they have they've brought a lot of really talented players and pulled a lot of people on those 1-year contracts like the Buccaneers did. So I think that the Jets are the Jets are definitely going to be in the playoffs, and I think that they'll probably be a wild card because they're in a tough division, but I think that they're going to be something this year. I don't think they're going to be a joke. I think that they're really going to be a good team because they got so many pieces. I mean, so many, and that defense is on its way up. So I think that the Steelers are another team that I think people are sleeping on. I think that Pickett he's looking good. Now I don't know about what's happened to their offensive line, but Pickett.
Well, make sure everyone tunes in next week's Stream Matter show where Dabs does his Pick'em's guaranteed locks for the week 1 of the NFL. So everybody get your DraftKings accounts and go with Dabs Picks the Game.
That's right.
There you go.
Locks.
I'm gonna have to make a little promo for football.
Yeah. Dabs locks.
Dabs picks of the week.
Yeah. Sponsored by BetKings. Yeah, that's what a new. We need to add that. We got to add that to the hyperlinks. I got to get some affiliate money in here to get my people paid. I got to do it so I can get my team paid. So we got to get that affiliates money coming in. All right. So, Beach, anything you want to say before we head out of here?
I'm good.
All right, Groot. What about you, Mr. Eddie?
You're up. I'm good, but I'd like to tell you about a show. It's called Human Footprint. It's a small 6-episode documentary. It's a wake-up call. You should watch it.
Human Footprint.
Good. It's on my server.
Good documentary.
And he promises that better internet the next show.
Yeah.
On climate change.
Okay.
So
And
Oh,
look at
that's
I talked about
awesome.
I talked about the internet.
Yep.
You see how he was like started
Yep.
glitching.
Oh man, poor guy.
All right, Eddie.
Yeah.
Thank you. A human
Human
footprint. What
footprint.
about you, Aubin?
Really nothing for me. I want to thank everyone for coming again and spending a Friday night with us. Also, everyone, just keep your mind on Roger. Pray for him. He's not feeling well.
Yeah, he's feeling
Hopefully, we'll see him next time. Hopefully, I definitely have my fingers crossed for him. I miss him.
And next week, once we do the spin, make sure that we let Eddie know, and he will send his sons the information of whatever movie we got to watch, and maybe we can get his kids to join
That's
the show
what
again
happens
next
when
week.
you talk about things ahead of time.
Yeah.
Early.
So we gotta let people know. What people are not just sitting around waiting for our call.
I try to get them on.
So it's bad today, Eddie.
Yeah, it's all over the place. So he'll have better internet. It's coming Tuesday.
They're willing to come back on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tuesday, yes.
Yeah, he's getting his new internet, so he'll be back off of 10 megs down. He'll actually have 120 coming down, so he'll actually have some decent internet. This is a man that's he's on one step above dial-up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no lie. He is one step above dial-up.
I think my dial-up was even faster than his.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so let's go ahead and head out of here. So thanks for you guys joining the show. This is Player Pass, and next week we'll be doing Streaming Matters. So that'll be at 5 Eastern Standard Time, so 5 p.m. And we'll see you guys on the next one.